rock stars, it's Amy. How are you guys doing? Today is day 4 of our 12 days of Plexus, and I apologize for this one being so late, but I have been traveling all day. Just got to Ohio, to my parents' house with the kiddo, and by the time we got settled and drove from the airport and got here and saw some relatives, I'm finally able to jump on. So I'm Amy Welch, your Sapphire Upline. I've been on Plexus now for almost 3 years, and you can hear my testimony later, but it has rocked my world. Our success rates for my husband and I include thyroid improvement, getting off gout medication, no more allergies, sinus infections, or back pain. So I am doing the 12 days of Plexus to help you guys learn more about our products. And today is one of my favorites, Plexus Block. I'm going to explain how this product works and why I thought Plexus people were crazy when I first saw this product. And then I'm going to tell you why everyone needs it, especially during the holidays, okay? So what is Plexus Block? Plexus Block does exactly what it says. It blocks 48% of the carbs and sugars from absorbing into your system. Hey, Ambry. So I'm going to explain to you, though, the science behind it and how that works, because it's not blocking something that is necessary that you need. It's not preventing you from absorbing any nutrients or vitamins. It's preventing your body from taking all of the excess sugars you're eating and converting them to glucose and storing them as fat. So let me tell you a little bit about it, and then we're going to kind of get to the science behind it. But Plexus Block, the way it works, it helps to control the glycemic index of those carbs and sugars, right? And it blocks the absorption of them by 48%. Now, it's not something where you're going to be stuck in the bathroom. It doesn't. Remember back in the 90s, there were like those diet pills that if you took them, they were fat blockers and it'd give you gas with oily discharge. That is not Block. I'm going to talk about how Block works in your body. It actually neutralizes the enzymes, the alpha amylase and the alpha glucosidase that converts the carbs and sugars into glucose. We'll talk here in a second about what our body does, but basically, once your body uses the glucose that it needs for energy, all the rest of the glucose is stored as fat, and that's what makes us obviously gain weight. This Plexus Block neutralizes those enzymes, and it maintains your healthy blood sugar levels. So if you're a diabetic, if you know someone who's a diabetic, whether you're type 1 or type 2, you know that after a meal, you typically have elevated levels based on what you've eaten. Plexus Block helps to maintain those post-meal fluctuations, right? It also helps manage your weight goals, because when you do cheat a little bit, whether it's a glass of wine or a cookie, this is going to prevent 48% of those carbs from converting. Now, how does it do that? Well, Plexus Block works instantly, and it's effective for up to 3 hours. It's most effective for 90 minutes, but the clinical studies have shown that it continues to work for 3 hours. So if you take if you take it and then maybe you get busy talking and you don't eat right away, you still have to eat within that 3-hour window. You take up to 4 a day. So typically what we tell people is you take 2 with lunch and 2 with dinner. It's not something you take every day per se. It's only when you're eating excess carbs. So if you're eating a salad and it doesn't have like tortilla chips on it, or it doesn't have candied pecans on it, and the dressing is oil and vinegar, you probably don't need to take Block, right? Because there aren't many carbs that you want to block. It's gluten-free, like all of our products. It's 100% vegetarian, like many of our products, and it's non-GMO. Of course, the cool thing, once again, guys, the thing about Plexus is it's clinically proven. That's like my favorite word. And the 2 ingredients that are in here are very simple. There's actually only 3 ingredients in the whole product, which is awesome. That's how you know how clean it is. White kidney bean extract and a proprietary brown seaweed blend, okay, with a couple of different parts of the brown seaweed. And then it has a little bit of chromium in it, because we know chromium like we learned earlier on day 1 with Slim, chromium helps maintain your blood sugar level. So how many people have eaten a meal, and especially like if it's a pasta meal or Thanksgiving, and you lay back and you feel bloated, you want to unbutton your pants, you feel tired? Okay, that's because you've had too much sugars. Block's going to prevent that feeling. I can remember when I used to work at an office and we'd go out to lunch, I knew better than to ever eat pasta at lunch because I'd come back to my office and want to go right to sleep. All right, so these ingredients are amazing. Now, one cool thing about Block that you would not find on the website is that the brown seaweed blend, it actually has naturally occurring iodine in it, okay? If you have low functioning thyroid, if you are hypothyroid like I am, iodine is really good. Iodine actually increases thyroid function. So I have many holistic health coaches and some endocrinologists that love the brown seaweed so much, they have their people take one of these a day no matter what, whether or not they eat carbs, just so they get the benefits of that brown seaweed blend. So really cool. Plexus Block. Now, a funny story, you guys, some of you guys may have heard this. Oh, Nikki, so it made you feel hungry? So that's probably just a coincidence. It's not going to increase your hunger. However, we talked about if you're on Plexus, anytime your hunger increases, that means your metabolism is increasing. So that's a good thing. It'll eventually even out. You just need to eat like some healthy protein because what your body is doing, it's trying to burn that fat and rev up that metabolism. That happens a lot when people start Slim. It happens a lot when people start the triplex. So it's possible maybe that happened. The only negatives I've ever heard with Block, I have a friend who is sensitive to white kidney bean. The bean actually makes her bloated, but she loves her red wine. And to counteract it, she wants to take Block because of the wine, so she takes a Beano. Remember the little Beano? She'll take a Beano, and then she'll take her Block because of the white kidney bean. So when I first started Plexus, if you guys heard my story, I didn't want anything to do with it. I was a supplement snob and a network marketing snob. Long story short, I went to this Plexus meeting and I wasn't really into it, and a lot of the women were going to go out for wine afterwards. And I'm like, well, sure, I love wine. I'm always up for meeting new friends. I'll go. Let's go out for wine. We get there and we all order, and I'm not kidding you. There were 2 guys at the table too. I'm not kidding you. Every single one of them pulled out a bottle of Block from their purse. And I was like, what cult did I just join? Who carries pills in their purse? Now you got to remember, before Plexus, I didn't even take a vitamin. I was such a supplement snob, right? I didn't understand it at all. So I was like, these people are crazy. And they were like, here, Amy, you want some Block? I'm like, no, I don't want the pills you carry in your purse. Yeah, well, then I educated myself on supplements and how our body works. And now I also have a bottle of Block in every purse because I've been out on date night with my husband and we've driven back because we've forgotten the Block, right? Today, we had some Mexican food for lunch, and my mom was like, pass the Block, right? Yeah, Tanzan, it's on the counter, it's in your purse, it's in your work bag. I even have this little like clutch. I literally just open the bottle and pour them in and just have the loose bottle. So Block is really good, even if you're not trying to lose weight, because here's the thing. Let's talk a little bit about how it works, okay? And the sugar crisis that is in America today. Let me take a drink here. We know that there is a sugar crisis in America. The modern day Western diet is full of sugar, right? Anytime something is low fat or reduced calorie, that means they increase the sugar, and they're hiding sugar in everything now, all right? So what I want you guys to know is that the World Health Organization, the WHO, right? They're the ones that set all of the recommendations, the daily allowances, the daily intakes, all of that. They recommend that you should not exceed 6 teaspoons of sugar per day, because that's all your body needs. So let's talk about what 6 teaspoons of sugar looks like. That's 2 blocks of dark chocolate, 2 itty bitty pieces. That's 1 teeny tiny Yoplait yogurt, all right? That's 1 dried apricot. That's 1/4 bottle of apple juice, 500 milliliters, like the little bottle. So guys, if you wake up and you have a Yoplait yogurt, you have exceeded your sugar intake for the entire day. And we know that people are eating way more sugar than they need to be, right? So when you're eating all of that excess sugar, here is what happens, right? So let's look. So sugar is actually what makes people fat. And a lot of people are like, well, how does sugar make you fat? Because there's no fat in it. I can remember like back in the 90s, the big craze was you ate anything that was fat-free, right? As long as on the label it said 0 fat, you ate it. You didn't look at anything else. Remember like those Snackwell cookies? They were fat-free. Well, guess what? They were full of sugar, okay? So sugar itself isn't evil, right? Our body needs sugar to survive, right? Because that's how our body actually gets energy. Healthy sugars, like fruits, for example, your body breaks those down through, a complex process, and it turns those complex sugars into simple sugars, and one of those is glucose. Glucose is what your body uses for energy. However, excess glucose is the first problem. Once your body has used that teeny tiny bit it needs that we think is around 6 teaspoons, right? Then it goes into your liver. So once your body uses what it needs for energy, your liver's sugar storage capacity is exceeded, okay? When the liver cannot hold any more of that sugar, it's converted into fat by your liver. They convert it into fatty acids, they put it back in the bloodstream, and those fatty acids are stored throughout your body as fat, okay? That's why on women, we get it in the stomach, the hips, the butt, right? That's extra sugar fat. That's where the body deposits it. Then the other problem with excess sugar is once you get that adipose tissue, it's called adipose. In fact, when I worked in crime scene, we called it adipocere once it decomposes. But adipose tissue, that's like, the thighs, the belly, the flappy arm. Once it deposits it there, then it also starts depositing it over into your organs. So that sugar that's in excess, that gets turned into the fatty acids, then it goes on your body, then it also goes into your heart, your liver, your kidneys, and it raises your blood pressure, it weakens your immune system, it decreases your metabolism. All of that happens from that excess sugar, which is not good, okay? The other thing about excess sugar then is insulin. And so if we have anyone who's a diabetic, you guys know all about this, right? But anything that you have that's a simple carbohydrate, like fruit or white bread or even wheat bread or anything like that, your body's fat burning process is shut down. So the sugar that has been ingested can be used for that energy, and then insulin takes all that sugar, puts it into your muscles. When you have too much, right, then that's when you get those insulin spikes as well. So that's the problem with sugar, and that it's everywhere, okay, even when you think you're being healthy. So some of the really hidden foods like instant cocoa. A lot of people think I can have one of those like Swiss Miss hot chocolates and it's low in sugar. They're full of sugar. In fact, one of those envelopes has 19 grams of sugar. And remember, 6 teaspoons is our max. Yogurt is the big culprit. A lot of people think they're being healthy when they eat yogurt. And not only are they starting their day with sugar, which puts their metabolism into a sluggish state, they've already exceeded their sugar intake for the day. Anything that usually is frozen, so like frozen, even if it seems healthy, like a frozen egg white whole wheat sandwich, they're full of sugar. Just about anything that's frozen or microwavable, they got to put sugar in it to make it taste good. You should never be drinking anything that has sugar in it. So any sort of even like fruit juices, vegetable juices, lots of those packaged green teas. So all of that stuff is high in sugar. And because none of us have a perfect diet, we're eating too much sugar. that's where block comes in, okay? When you know you are going to eat something that is high in sugar, you need to block it. I tell you, I block mine when we go eat Mexican food because like I cannot not eat the chips. And then I use mine when I drink wine. Yeah, so you had, yeah, the sugar, the yogurt and the Go-Gurt. Now, you know, there's tons of sugar in it. So what I try to do at least is make the healthiest, try to find the healthiest version of those. And for me, I will give Adelaide an organic Greek yogurt. And Stonyfield is the one I can find that's lowest in sugar, but I'm also very chemical free. So I quit doing a lot of the Yoplays, a lot of the Go-Gurts. They have chemicals, they have red dye. So I'll get those Stonyfield and let her have maybe like one a day. I'll even put it in the freezer, and she thinks it's like the best treat, like those you know, like the yogurt tubes, put it in the freezer. So when it comes to sugars, you really just have to know how to read your labels, right? You have to look at your food labels. This is something I learned even before Plexus, just because I was having some vertigo and some health issues, and my doctor at the time said, cut out artificial sweeteners. And I was living on Diet Coke. I was living on Diet Coke with Splenda because they tricked you to make you think Splenda was the healthy version. It was okay, but it's not. So artificial sweeteners are just as bad as regular sugar. In fact, when you ingest artificial sweeteners in like your Diet Cokes, your energy drinks that are low in sugar, anything that has aspartame, sucralose, any of that, it actually tricks your body. So then your body thinks it's going through the process of processing the sugar, but it's not because it's a chemical. Then your body actually ends up craving sugar more. So a lot of people, when they have that Diet Coke habit, they also usually have like an ice cream habit, or they really have bad cravings, and it's those artificial sweeteners tricking their body into craving it. So you really have to learn how to read labels and really look, because also sugar, it may not be in the first 5 ingredients. It may be down at the bottom, and they're really tricky at the different names of sugar, right? So there are different ways they call it fructose. It may not just say sugar. It might say fructose, glucose, sucrose. All of those things are just sugar, okay? And even the sugar in the raw, that makes it sound like it's better. It's still sugar. Now, I'm not saying cut out sugar altogether. If you can, you're going to be healthier. You're going to feel better. A lot of people, after they've been on Plexus for a few years, a lot of our holistic health coaches, a lot of our really kind of super healthy people, they just cut sugar because our body just isn't made to run on the fake sugars. Fruit sugar is different, right? Fruit sugar ideally is what you would use for your energy, your body processes, and you would not give it any man-made sugar. So it's really agave nectar, brown sugar, cane crystals, cane sugar, corn sweetener, corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup, fructose, dextrose, evaporated cane juice, fruit juice concentrate, all of these things, maple syrup, maltose, molasses, all of these things, honey, all of these things are still sugars, right? So if you're having a spoonful of honey 4 times a day in your tea, even though it's honey and it's natural and it's way better than the packaged stuff, that's still a lot of sugar. Your body still is storing that excess sugar as fat. So that is where Plexus Block comes in handy. Yeah, so learn, guys, that's one thing. In fact, maybe in January we'll do like a kind of a quick little class on reading labels because it was really a skill I had to learn. When my doctor told me to cut out artificial sweeteners and high fructose corn syrup, I had to start reading labels. And mainly anything low sugar is where the fake stuff comes in. But anything, I was amazed at all of the things that had high fructose corn syrup. Bread. I used to eat whole wheat bread that I thought was healthy. The second ingredient was high fructose corn syrup. So that's the other thing. You know, when you read labels, they're listed in order of amount. So the first 5 ingredients on anything is what they have the most of. And so like when I'm buying yogurt for my kiddos, I'm looking for like, you know, cream and yogurt and like fruit, like real fruit. And then I might look for like, it probably has like a culture, like a probiotic culture. That's it. If it's got anything I can't pronounce, if it's got like red number 4 or whatever, in fact, let's go look at my parents' fridge real quick, just real quick. I think that class would be a good idea. Let me just look here real quick. Totally gonna call them out here. My mom, I don't think she's got a yogurt. No, oh. No yogurts. No yogurt. But I tell you, and the reason I wanted to talk about Block is because it's the holidays. Listen, I'm going to eat too much sugar. I'm preaching to you guys about how bad it is and how I try to avoid it. But listen, I'm eating sugar. It's the holidays, right? I'm not going to not have it. That's why I have my Block, okay? I'm going to arm myself with Block. The other thing, guys, we go on vacation every year. It's an all-inclusive. Every year I gain between 5 and 7 pounds. After I started Plexus, I don't gain weight on that vacation anymore. Part of it's because I'm on the triplex, but I also take Block, and I take it every day. I take 4 a day. So you can spread it out. I take mine like before I'm going to have wine, but if I'm only going to have 1 glass, I may not want to use my 2 Block for just 1 glass of wine, right? So you got to plan your day around the Block. But I'm going to be splurging. Right now, I have a bottle of peppermint vodka and Bailey's. I'm putting it in the Swiss Miss hot cocoa, all right? Now, I'm not going to go overboard. I'm not going to have it every single day. I'm not going to have it twice a day, but I am going to treat myself. But like this Ready Whip right here, okay? Let's just look. Everyone uses this, right? I mean, my parents had 2 cans of it. You use this at Thanksgiving, right? This is the good stuff because they tell you it's real cream. It's better than the chemicals that is Cool Whip, right? Because Cool Whip, I don't think Cool Whip has any real food in it. But if you look here, the number 1 ingredient, heavy cream, okay, water, number 3, sugar. And they just tell you right there. But guess what else? Maltodextrin, that's another sugar. Carrageenan, that's the stuff we avoid because it causes internal inflammation. That's the stuff that when Plexus, one of our products, came out and had carrageenan in it because it's made from seaweed, we kind of flipped out and Plexus removed it for us. So I'll talk about that when we get to that day. But so you got to just learn to read the labels. Now, even though the 3rd ingredient in this is sugar, it's still less than 1 gram for 2 tablespoons. Okay? So, but 2 tablespoons is not a lot. That's like 2 of these. And I know when I put this on my pumpkin pie, I'm putting like 12 tablespoons, right? Or when you put it in your mouth, that's like 4 tablespoons, okay? So you just, just kind of being educated. So maybe we'll do that class. But that, guys, supposed to be talking about Plexus Block, but it's really, really good to understand what's happening in your body with that excess sugar. And I implore you guys, if you came here because you want to get healthy, let us help you kick your soda habit. Let us help you kick either your regular Coke habit or your Diet Coke habit. You will see a world of difference in how your body functions just by kicking soda. And if you need help, we can help you because we've all been there. I used to buy Diet Coke with Splenda by the case, right? Back when it was like 4 for $10. So I get it. And now I don't drink anything except water and a black coffee. So it's doable. Let us help you. The other thing about sugar, this, prevents your body from absorbing 48%. You're not going to be in the bathroom. It doesn't like turn it into fat or that gas with oily discharge. It actually, if you guys are just joining, it prevents the, it neutralizes the enzyme. So there's 2 enzymes that convert that excess sugar into glucose. It actually neutralizes that. So it doesn't get converted, which means it doesn't get stored as fat. It actually just gets taken out through your regular excretion process, which is urination and defecation. But it's nothing extra. You're not going to be blocked up. You're not going to have the gas with oily discharge. The only thing, because this does have the white kidney bean, you might notice that your stools are a little harder, a little more firm, maybe even a little bit constipated. So if you're not on the triplex and you take Block, you need to take BioCleanse. Some people have noticed they have to increase their BioCleanse if they're taking 4 Block a day. right? Some people, you take it as needed. You might take 2 a day. You might take 4 here, but you're not taking it every day. Other people, they're taking block every single day. So just work with your sponsor, work with us here on this page. Block is great. You have time. It's the 16th of December. You have time to place your order because you are going to want this at Christmas, because I know you're going to want to eat the cookie. You're going to want to eat grandma's zucchini bread with icing on it, right? Like you're going to want the hot chocolate with the peppermint vodka. You're going to have an extra glass of wine. So when that happens, you need the block. It also, it keeps people from that bloated feeling. It keeps you from feeling tired because it's regulating your blood sugar, because your blood sugar is not going to spike and dip after that meal as bad with block. And then the other thing, guys, this is not on the website. This is not clinically proven, but I've had a couple people who swear that when they take block, it prevents them from getting that wine headache, you know, like the hangover. So that's Plexus Block. We love it. This is day 4 of the 12 days of Plexus. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. I am sorry it's so late. But I flew to Ohio today, so now I'm in Ohio for the next 16 days. I'm so excited. But remember, comment on all the videos. Day 1 was Slim. Day 2 was the Probio 5 and the Vital Biome, our 2 probiotics. Day 3 yesterday was, what was BioCleanse? And today is Plexus Block. So comment on all of them. If you didn't catch them, you can always go to the video album on this Facebook group. To the left-hand side, click videos. It saves all of the lives. I definitely recommend trying Block for sure. And hey, with the 60-day money-back guarantee, guys, that's on every single product. So let's say you've been on the triplex for a while and you love it and you're rocking and rolling. You want to try Block? Buy the whole bottle. Try it for a whole month. If you get to the bottle and it's empty and you don't like it, you can get your money back on Block. That's okay. It's for everyone forever. It's not within your first 60 days. It's anytime you get the product, the first time you buy it. So you may be an ambassador for 2 years and you finally decide to try it. You don't like it, you can get your money back. So try it. You got nothing to lose. It's fantastic. I am now one of those people that have it in every purse. My husband keeps it at work. He keeps it everywhere too. So go get you some Block. All right, thanks for hanging out with me, guys. Stay tuned tomorrow for day 5 of the 12 days of Plexus. I'm going to do it a little bit earlier. I'm just not sure when. So catch it when you can, guys.